my channel. Today's video is going to be another update in my whole collection project pan. This was a project that was started by BeckyLovesKanga, and then my friends Emily and Sarah did this last year and invited so many other people to kind of just join in on the efforts of cheering one another on. We have a huge group message on Instagram, and that is what today's video is going to be. So if you are interested in seeing my progress on my whole collection project pan, then stay tuned. First, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I hope you consider subscribing before you leave today. And other than that, let's just jump into the video. All right, you guys, Becky's channel, Emily and Sarah's, and then anyone else who is currently doing this project will be linked down below. I think there's a playlist, or you can just search the hashtag whole collection project pan. There is tons of construction going on outside, like a lot. They have been repaving the road in front of our house for, I swear, like 2.5 months. It's ridiculous. And of course there's like huge things going by today that are really noisy. And then I'm also trying to reset in terms of self tan, so I'm like super patchy and peely, and I'm not sure my foundation matches like any part of the body, like even the parts that like are still hanging on to the self tan or the parts that have completely worn away. So you'll have to forgive me for all of that. But this is going to be, I believe, is it update number 6 or 7? The mid-year update for the whole collection project pan. And mid-year we do get to do a refresh. I can't remember if there is like a limit on the amount of items that you can refresh, but I believe I have 3 that I'm going to refresh or essentially just roll out because I'm not seeing the progress that I want to see. I also have 2 products that I hit my goal on or finished up, and then I have my progress on everything else. So let's jump right into the products that I have decided that I no longer want to work on, starting with my bronzer slash blush from the Balm. This is the Balm Desert Bronzer, and I want to roll this out because I just don't love this bronzer like I used to. I also just brought a ton of new bronzer into my collection, and I just feel like this bronzer doesn't really have a place in my collection anymore. So I'm actually going to be rolling this out, and I will likely declutter this and pass this along to a friend or potentially sell it on my Poshmark. But this is something that I have decided to stop working on. My goal was to hit pan, and I really don't have much progress at all. I've not been reaching into this just because I have other bronzers I like a lot better than this one. Another product that I'm going to roll out is one that has been in since the beginning, and it is my ColourPop liquid lipstick in the shade Ariba. This was in collaboration with Karen from I Love Sarah E, and I gave myself a goal of using this 10 times. I will swatch this for you guys. It is a beautiful red liquid lipstick, but I just do not reach for red, especially liquid lipsticks. I just have not been reaching for liquid lipstick all that often in general. And then to throw in there that it's also this vibrant bright red, I just have not been reaching for this. Like I said, I gave myself a goal of using this 10 times this year, and I have only reached for it 5 times up until this point. I didn't use it at all in the month of January, and then I've been averaging 1 use per month since then. So even though I would likely be able to use this once a month until the end of the year, it's just something that I'm not enjoying working on, and I would rather, even though it's risky, I would rather roll to see if I can get something else that I would much prefer to be working on. Maybe I won't, but we'll see. And then the last product I've decided to stop working on is this one from Ace Beauté. This is a single shadow. It's one of their glimmer shadows, and it's in the shade Cotton Candy. My goal was to hit pan on this. I did use this a couple of times this past month. It is a stunning shade. However, I just don't reach for pink shades all that often. If I had rolled in my other Ace Beauté shadow that's like this, I think it's in something to do with coffee, maybe like iced latte. It's this beautiful foiled gold. I probably wouldn't have rolled it out, but I'm just not reaching for this enough to want to continue to have it in a project. And we're gonna roll something else in its place. So those are the 3 products that I have decided I no longer want to work on in this project. Now let's move on to the products that I was able to hit my goal on. So as I said in the introduction, I hit goal on 2 products. The first is this one from Hourglass. This is their blush in Euphoric Fusion, and I gave myself a use goal on this, and I told myself I wanted to use this 20 times. Okay, I mixed that swatch with the finger that I swatched that eyeshadow on. Here's the blush right here. It's a beautiful blush. You guys know I love the Hourglass blush formula. I did recently bring in a ton of new blush to my collection, so I am excited to have hit my goal on this, to have gotten some good use on it, but to be done working on this so that I can focus on some of the new blushes that I have recently brought into my life. And then the last product that I hit goal on, I actually did finish this up. This is the L'Oreal Infallible Up to 24-Hour Fresh Wear Foundation. So I cannot get this, get the top off. And I really, like little splatters come out of this, but there's nothing coming out of the pumper. That was it. I maybe could have gotten half a face out of that, maybe a full face of really sheared out coverage. But we're calling it, I don't know if the packaging is truly opaque or if this is truly foundation coating the walls, but because I can't even get the top off of this, it's not like I could even scrape at the walls anyway. So we're calling this an empty, and I'm very excited to have finished off another foundation this year. I have also brought quite a few foundations into my collection this year, so it's nice to be rolling out a foundation as an empty. And then we just have the 5 products that I am still working on. I'm still working on the Wonder Beauty foundation, and I know you guys are probably surprised that I have decided to continue to work on this because I do not enjoy this foundation. It's what I'm wearing today, and if I look super up close, I can see all this it just doesn't make my face look good. However, I have worked so hard to just finish this foundation off, and I am so close to being done that I'm in it for the long haul with this one. I want to finish this up. So when we started, I had quite a bit of product left, and here are my markings as we've gone on. Today is actually only the 2nd or 3rd day this month that I've worn this foundation. I've kind of put this away just to give myself a breather, so I'm not even giving it a new marking because it's pretty much still here. I'm hopeful that I can finish this in the next couple of months. I'm not really sure. It's really slow going with this one just because I do not enjoy this. However, this does have pretty good lasting power, so I might just try and power through in the month of July. And because I'm still wearing a face mask at work, you can only see the forehead part of my face for the most part, so maybe I will just continue to suffer through this in July since you really can't see the parts that are really affected and really look bad. We'll see next update, you guys. Then I'm also working on this deluxe size sample of the Laura Mercier Pure Canvas Primer. Not deluxe sample, this was their mini. And I have been using this pretty consistently. This is probably my most reached for primer in the month of June. It is thicker, definitely smoothing, and it's pretty tacky, but I will be excited to be done with this. I just feel like this may have been clogging my pores just because I was using it almost every day, and then I kind of had to break up my usage. It's just a pretty thick primer. I feel like if you had oily skin and a more matte smooth canvas, you would really enjoy this, but for me and my dry skin, it just isn't my absolute favorite. When I pulled this in, it was pretty much new. I had maybe used it 5 or 6 times up until that point, and now I am right here. So I feel like I definitely can finish this off by the next update, which will be really exciting because you guys know my primer collection is always out of control. So it's always great to be finishing off primers. I have another foundation that I'm working on. This is the YSL Touche Éclat All-in-One Glow Foundation. I have been using this, or I did use this quite a bit at the beginning of the month. As you can see, it definitely is more of my summer shade, and I haven't marked this one yet. Oh yeah, I did mark this. Last update, it was here. And now, there's still some up here when I fold this over, but I do not have much of this left. This does have an expiration date of July of 2020. I think I could finish this up realistically by the time September hits. So, this doesn't smell bad or anything, and it still performs fine. So I will continue to use this. This has an air pump in it, and I will say it has been getting like harder and harder to pump out product. It just hasn't been like a consistent pump every time I use this. So I am confident that I will finish this probably in 2 more months use, not by the next update, but again by the beginning of September. And then the final 2 products are lip products. I have this one from Fenty. This is one of her mini lip glosses, still going strong. This is in hot chocolate. I think it's time for me to take the stop route because when I pull this out, I really don't get a lot of product on this. I have already finished up a different mini lip gloss from Fenty this year, and when I took the stop route, I maybe had like 2.5 to 3 weeks of use left after that. So I think by the next update, or again by September, I should be able to finish this off, which is super exciting. I'm excited to see how many lip products I finish off this year compared to last year when we get to the end of the year. And then the final product is this lipstick from Maybelline. This is in the shade Baddest Beige. I have really enjoyed having this and using this as often as I have this year. This is really, really beautiful. It's more of a satin sheen sort of formula. So it's almost like a gloss stick in my opinion. Super, super comfortable. I found it really, really easy to use, and I really like to pair this with pretty much any other lip product just to add like a little bit of what is the word I'm looking for? It adds just like, I'll add a little bit of nude to the center of the lips to give it like that ombre-ish effect. And I really enjoy that. Or if a lipstick is darker than I prefer, I will use this to lighten up the lipstick. I use this all the time. This is something that when I finish this, I absolutely will repurchase. I don't know if I rolled it all the way up for you guys. This is where we are at. I will also post a picture of my tallies. And I'm really excited about this. I feel like I am going to finish this. It probably will be close to the end of the year by the time that I do. But I think this will be my first full-size lipstick that I've ever finished off in my life, which will be such an exciting moment. And yeah, that's my update on this. So because I finished off or hit goal on 2 products and I'm rolling 3 of them out, we actually have 5 products to roll in today. I'm excited and nervous at the same time. So let me go grab my phone and we'll pull up the Pretty Random app. So before we randomly select my new products, I just want to share with you guys the sort of rules or stipulations I have currently going for myself and my project. So I don't want to work on more than 3 lip products at a time, so I can still roll in 1 lip product. I have space for 1 more lip product within this category. And then up until this point, I hadn't included eyeshadow palettes or pans. I have my single shadows included, but not like each individual pan in every single eyeshadow palette that I own. I have decided I am going to include eyeshadow palettes as a whole in this project, and if I select an eyeshadow palette, I only want to do 1 eyeshadow palette at a time because I am currently working on my Pan Those eyeshadows. So 1 eyeshadow palette can be rolled at a time, and I'm just going to do a standard usage goal for that eyeshadow palette of 15 uses in any sort of capacity, just to help me kind of, you know, throw some spice in with my eyeshadow palette collection. So I'm going to jump into my Google spreadsheet. I currently have 682 eligible things to select from. So then jumping into my Pretty Random app, I feel like I'm super washed out today. I can't ever figure out my lighting, you guys. From 672? I hope that's right. We're just gonna go for it. And I'm gonna randomize 5 different numbers. So we get number 306. And then, okay, so then, nope, that didn't work. How do I do this? Go like this? Number 1, wow. Number 474, 352, and number 9. Interesting variety of numbers. So let's then jump into my spreadsheet. We're gonna scroll all the way to the top and see. Okay, number 1 is my Hourglass Luminous Light Powder. Number 9 is my Milk Blur Powder, which I have decided to declutter. So this is so ironic. I had this happen in my Pan Those eyeshadows as well, where I've like had to re-roll So I'll have to re-roll for the Milk Blur powder. I do need to update my spreadsheet, clearly. And then number 306 comes from my Tarte Clay Play palette. It is a shade from there. Number 352 is a lip product. ABH, no, it's not a lip product. Okay. ABH Blue Moon must come from my ABH highlighting palette. Okay, and then number 452, I think it was. No, 474. Freaking A! I almost said a bad word. 474 is a lipstick, and it's a red. It is the Bite Beauty lipsticks, and it's a little guy. I gotta make sure I still have this one because I did recently declutter some. It's in the shade Cayenne, so I'll go see if I have that and see if we have to re-roll for that one as well. Okay, so I actually don't still have that Bite lipstick. I promise, this is not a lie. So I am going to roll 2 more numbers because I rolled 2 things that I don't have in my collection anymore. And I got number 253 and 303. Is 303? Okay, never mind. So 303, not happy about either. Comes from my MAC Ignite face palette, which is that pink marble packaging. And I hate that face palette. In the shade Ignite. And then number 253 is... Oh! Okay, I get it. Sometimes like my abbreviations when I like categorize these things are ridiculous. I'm excited. This is coming from my Hourglass Ghost Quad, and I actually worked on the Ghost Quad earlier this year, I believe, in this project, and I am working on a different shade in that palette. So I'm going to go grab everything that I am rolling in to share with you, and I will be right back. All right, you guys, I have my new products. Really ironic, 4 of the 5 that I pulled are from face palettes. But first up, we have this from Hourglass. This is the Luminous Light Powder. I have tried to pull this into projects, pull this into Shop My Stashes, and I just don't get a ton of use out of this. However, if you were to look, there is a slight dip going in the center of this. I am not going to try and hit pan on this by any means because I don't feel like that is feasible for me. I think I'm just going to give myself a use goal on this, and I'm going to give myself the goal to use this 30 times, and then we will roll it out. This is something that I can find ways to use. One way that I found it pretty easy to use that I got off Kelly Gooch's recommendation is if you're trying to like clean up an eye look or just like blend out at the end to kind of blend it all together, to dip into a powder like this. So I feel like I will easily be able to find ways to get 30 uses out of this. It's just something that takes a lot of reminding myself to reach for. But that is the first thing that we pulled. Then from my Tarte Clay Play palette, we rolled in the shade Stone, which is this. Sorry, this is like so reflective. It's this little eyeshadow right here. And even though it's going to pain me, I feel like I should just give myself the goal to hit pan on that. I don't reach for this palette all that often. I bought this knowing it was being discontinued. I got it at a sale because it was being discontinued. And even though I feel like this is like a palette that I should get a ton of use out of because it's like right up my alley when it comes to like work everything, because it's just like this incredibly neutral palette with like bronzers and a contour powder in here, I just never think to reach for this. So sorry, I'm just trying not to blind you. Again, this is the shade we're working on. We're working on Stone, and my goal is going to be to hit pan on this. It'll probably be really hard and miserable, but that's my goal. So then out of my ABH Moonchild palette, I got the shade Blue Moon, which is this one right here. And I have mentioned to you guys before that I actually don't reach into this palette all that often. Here it is right here. It's pretty, but I bought this when these were like at their peak of popularity. Everything was like super holographic, and that was like the thing. Obviously I can use this as an eyeshadow or an inner corner highlight. That's how I use this palette. I never really use this on my actual cheekbones. It is a really pretty shade. Actually, it's a lot lighter swatched than it looks in the pan. It looks like a really pretty lavender shade, and I've been having a lot more fun with color lately. I just don't feel like I'm going to be able to realistically, like, I feel like if I gave myself the goal to hit pan on this, I'm going to be miserable trying to do it. So I think I might give myself a goal of using this 30 times as well. And that is a lofty goal, I feel like, for a palette that I really don't reach into all that often. So my goal is going to be to reach for that shade 30 times. So another one that I'm not too excited about is this from MAC. Again, sorry, I'm not trying to blind you. This is my MAC Ignite face palette, and I have mentioned many times that this is not a favorite of mine. The shade that I rolled in is this shade as well, which I feel like this is such a bad palette. Like, it's just, these don't even swatch all that nicely. They like stick and they like drag as you try and swatch it. It's such a dry powder. But I do feel like I can use this like on my cheeks as a blush topper through the summer. So I'm just gonna try and make it like a hair easier on myself and give myself a 20 usage goal. If I can use this 20 times, I'll be happy. I know at some point I probably plan to just take all this product out and keep this as like something that I can hopefully turn into like a Z palette, but I haven't decluttered this yet, so it is still fair game, and I am gonna give myself the goal of reaching for that shade 20 times. Alright, and then finally, out of my Hourglass Ghost Quad, I got the shade Lucid Flush, which is, I believe, or not Lucid, Lucid Glow, which is this shade right here. And it looks really, really pretty, especially for this time of year. Oh, wow. That is very bright and coral. It's looking a lot more washed out on camera, but this looks very bright and very glowy. There might even be like hints of micro glitter in this, but I feel like I can use a really light, like loosely dense, lightly not dense, loose blush brush, a very fluffy brush to pop this onto my cheeks and just like really sheer it out and make it just this really beautiful coral sun-kissed glow. And I think that actually will be really, really pretty. I'm gonna give myself a 30 use goal on this one as well. Lots of usage goals here. But I am excited to be working on some new products. I'm a little bit nervous about quite a few of them, but I was excited to do a refresh. This is the only refresh we will be doing, I think, this year. So you guys will have to leave me a comment down below. Let me know if you're not, you guys will have to leave me a comment down below. Let me know if you're excited about some of the new products I'm trying to pan. Are you doing this project? Are you trying to pan anything right now? Are you hate panning anything? Let me know what makeup you're trying to get through. I would love to hear from you guys. As always, thank you so much for sticking around to watch today's video and for supporting my channel. And I will catch you in tomorrow's video, which is the kickoff for palette week. You guys know I love eyeshadow palettes and I love talking about eyeshadows, and we do palette week once a quarter on my channel, and tomorrow we are kicking it off with the Pan Those Eyeshadows update for June, and then I have some fun eyeshadow palette content for the rest of the week. So I hope you guys are excited, and I will catch you in tomorrow's video. Bye!